If you're watching this, it's time for you to set aside whatever you're doing and listen up. You might be watching this while you're eating, or maybe just have it in the background. I get it, I do it too. But I promise you that if you do listen up, you'll be ahead of 80% of the people that do ads. That being for just a client or for your own e-com brand. So that being said, welcome back to video number 2 of this advertising series. If you're still here, you're probably better than 90% of the people that have already given up. And to be honest with you, they will probably never see any results with their brand. So in the previous episode, Gladys talked about the fundamentals of advertising, the vital importance of knowing your audience and why people buy either because of logical reasons or emotional reasons. And if you haven't seen it yet, then make sure you check it out after this video. So today we're diving deep into something even juicier, the 5 levels of customer awareness. And this is the exact framework we used to scale our client's store to multiple 6 figures a year in just under 28 days. So the 5 stages of customer awareness are 5 phases that customers go through when deciding to buy something. It starts from being completely clueless about having a desire or a need to becoming a loyal customer to a certain brand. I know that most gurus don't talk about this concept, and that's simply because if they did, you wouldn't need them anymore. And also, no matter if you're selling a product, a service, or cookies, these principles will always apply. So realistically, you have no excuses to not make money with it. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the major sum. Now, before we get into the 5 levels, let me give you a bit of a background story of how this concept was originated. So the 5 levels of customer awareness were first introduced by none other than Eugene Schwartz, one of the greatest copywriters and advertisers that have ever lived on earth. This was first presented in his iconic book Breakthrough Advertising, published all the way back in 1966. Yes, that's right, 60 years ago. With his principles in the 60s, he generated over $2 billion. In today's money, that would amount to approximately 21 billion. And that's pretty much how much Tesla made in between 2022 and 2023. And guess what? Despite all the changes in technology and consumer behavior, his principles still hold up. Why? Because it taps into psychology and decision making. And to be honest with you, that hasn't changed that much in the past 100 years. At the end of the day, it all comes down to how aware your customer is about their problem, the solution, and whatever you're selling. Right, so now that you have some context, let's dive deep into these 5 levels of customer awareness. So first of all, you have the unaware stage. At the unaware stage, you're talking to someone that's blissfully ignorant. They're going on about their day without even knowing that they have a problem that needs solving. So you have to wake them up and make them realize that they have a problem and it matters. And this is exactly where the art of storytelling comes into play. You're not just presenting any problem, you're presenting it in a way that it matters to them, that it resonates with them. So you have to make them protagonists of the story you're telling. Use relatable scenarios, maybe a little bit of drama. Paint a vivid picture that allows them to see themselves in it, that makes them think, wait a second, that sounds like me. So your ad content here should be more about educating and awakening and not really selling. So just to give you a quick example, an unaware ad would probably sound something like this. So 90% of the population can't even squat their own weight. You might have tried over and over again. You might have paid a personal trainer. You might have tried different training routines. But at the end of the day, you don't know what the actual reason is. Essentially, at this stage, you're just trying to get the attention of your ideal customer. Someone that might be interested in whatever you're selling, but you're not selling it yet. Not only that, you also need to play on their curiosity. So here's another example that you can use. I stopped going to the gym because I never eat veggies, and that's because 90% of the population has this XYZ issue, but they don't know about it. I put on 5 kilograms of muscle in only 3 months without. You see how these mini stories will just spark your curiosity, will make you stop scrolling and actually listen for a second. Obviously, the crazier you can go with this, the better, but I will always stay away from making false claims. But this concept is super powerful because you can start going super broad with your advertising and funnel down your customers into your product or service. You also need to understand that at this stage, your interaction with your customer, it's super cold. So imagine you're just walking down the street and you're trying to approach a girl. Obviously, there is a very high chance that she will ignore you, right? So really, have no expectations that this will turn into a sale. After all, this is the first time you even get noticed. Right, let's now move on to the second stage, the problem aware stage. Now, at the problem aware stage, your customer already knows that there is something that's off. They're aware of their pain, but they haven't found a cure to it yet. So here is exactly where you shift gears. You're like a mentor to them. You explain them the problem, you educate them, and finally bring a solution into their world. At this stage, you don't only create content that educates them, but also finally hints to a solution. And this just lays the pave for you to finally introduce your product as the best solution. So just a quick tip here. You need to make their problem feel as vivid and as real as possible. A real good marketer will make the customer feel the pain and all the issues that come with that specific problem as they're reading a copy or they're watching a video. Let's now have a look at some examples. At this stage, you would script an ad that would probably sound something like this. Lack of proteins is why you're struggling to even do one single bodyweight squat. So all that time wasted going through training programs, hiring expensive personal trainers, when the solution was just in front of you. Protein powders are a simple fix for this. In fact, 80% of gym enthusiasts achieve their goals in only 2 months, without breaking the bank and by only increasing their protein intake. Now you're finally pinpointing what the actual issue is, and you're also educating them, and you're finally giving them a possible solution to it. Obviously, these are just examples. I made them from the top of my head, so take them with a pinch of salt, don't copy them word by word. But I just truly wanted to understand the principles and proper grasp them. So now let's move on to the third stage, the solution aware stage. Let's meet the solution aware people. They now moved from I have a problem to I'm actually looking for solutions. And that could be through Google, through Facebook, through any platform that you can find, YouTube. Now they're looking for recommendations. They're looking for suggestions. They compare products. So here's your cue now to swap in and make a pitch. But be careful. So most marketers will go into super heavy salesy tactics, but they're probably solution shopping. So heavy-handed sales tactics can simply backfire. Instead, offer value, educate. They already know they have an issue. You don't have to resell them too much into it. They already have a problem and they found a solution. They're just comparing products. So this is your opportunity to educate them further and show them why your product is better than the others. At this stage, think about comparisons, case studies, scientific studies that, put your product in a better position. Your message should be focused on why is your product better? Why should the customer choose yours over someone else's? You could simply say something along these lines. Protein mass is the best protein source. So protein mass is the best protein source. It's ideal for those that are just starting out or those that are more experienced in the gym. It is the best in the market because it's organic, it's suitable for vegetarians, for vegans, and for those that eat meat because it's not, soy-based. Not only that, it also has the best amino acid profile. So it is ideal for those that are just enthusiasts and for professionals. Try it for free today, click below. So you see at this stage, you're just letting your customer know that your product is the best in the market with case studies, with comparisons, with everything that we discussed earlier. But still, you're not really pushing the sell to your customer. So you're simply comparing your product to the average product on the market and you explain them exactly why yours is better. If I'm completely honest with you, at this point, I wouldn't focus too much on price because you don't want your brand to be positioned as cheap, but rather on the peculiarities and why your product is the best in the market, right? All the features, the benefits, etc. On a side note, I think that competing on pricing is always a lost battle. So established brands understand that if you want to be in the game for the long term, you need to focus on the messaging, on the branding, on the marketing, on the features, on the benefits of your product, rather than competing on the pricing. And the customer understands this too. And guess what? Customers are happy to pay for it. They pay a premium price for a premium product. See, for example, Nike, Gymshark, Under Armour, and many others. Now, let's get to stage 4, the product aware stage. This is the holy grail of levels. They're on your website, they're lurking around, maybe they're looking you up on social media, they understand what you're selling, and they just want a little incentive to get them across the line. They're like fish circling the bait. They just need one single reason to buy. This is where nuanced advertising really makes a difference. You can either make a lot of money or no money at all. At this point, you should start using retargeting ads, focusing on the features, on the benefits, and even make offers that are way too good to pass on. So you can also display powerful testimonials or third-party endorsements from celebrities, and that's simply to tip the scale in your favor, to make them cross that line. All you need to do now is reinforce why your product is the best. At this level, making money really shouldn't be that hard, at least if you do it properly. So in terms of advertising, you should be focusing on just prompting the customer. Unless there is a new product in the range, you shouldn't go into the technicalities of your product, but just restate why it's the best. Why did they buy it in the past? And why, X amount of people bought it and they trusted your brand or your product or your services. Keep in mind that this audience, it's hot. So they just need a tiny little push to get them over the line and actually purchase from you. Right, now we got to the last stage, the most aware stage. These are your loyalists, your evangelists, your repeated customers. You might think by this point, well, the job is done. Well, not really. You need to continue nurturing that relationship with them. Resting on your laurels nowadays, it's a huge mistake, especially when the barrier of entry to have a dropshipping store or just setting up an e-commerce store is so easy. So there are competitors going after you every single day, looking for your ideal customer, the ones that you have already acquired. So how do you keep the fire burning? Well, think retention tactics. So by this point, you should have loyalty programs and rewards and VIP treatments and anything you can do to make them feel special and want to come back to you for more and more and more. At this stage, most of it is done through email marketing and retargeting advertising. I really don't want this to become too technical, but just to give you a quick advice, you can have retargeting campaigns for customers that, purchased from you 60 days ago, 90 days ago, 120 days ago, or 180 days ago. Obviously, each message should be different based on the time they purchased and based on any seasonality that was at that point. Honestly, the campaign could simply be, a range of products or just a limited offer, or maybe offer them a specific discount just because they bought from you 30, 60, 90 or 100 days ago. So guys, just to wrap this up, by clearly understanding and acting on these 5 levels, you're now making sure that your advertising budget goes into the right place. So you're not just wasting money, but you're actually making money. And that money can be put to good use for you to scale your brand to 6, 7, 8 figures. And by using these stages, you're also making sure that you're targeting the customer at whatever stage it might be in. So then you make sure you get them from completely ignorant to making them your loyal customer. And that, my friends, is how you win in advertising, the scientific way. A guy 6 years ago made 2 billion with it. And after we started applying it religiously, we went from 0 to 35,000 a month in just under 28 days. So long story short, yes, it does work, but you need to fully understand and grasp the concepts. So I have also created a template for you that you can find down in the description. It's basically a template based on what you just learned, and it will show you exactly how you can target each customer at the different stages. If you want this, DM either me or Gladys on Instagram. You can find the handles down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe so we can create more videos just like this without charging you a single penny. Now, just to give you a bit of a teaser on the next video, you will learn how to apply all these concepts that you learned today, and you will learn how to create creatives that will make your customers throw their wallet at you. Also, if you're interested in working with us, I will leave a link below. Otherwise, I will just see you in the next video.